Jose, this is the first of 8 games in December. For you, is this a chance to turn the season around and get a bit of momentum?
Yeah, I told that before Crystal Palace. It was November, but was for me the start of a period, and we lost 2 points. We need points, and we have now, in spite of we have a Champions League match in December, but it's a Champions League match different. We can now focus just on the Premier League, not even cup matches yet. Cup is for January, and we need points. We need points. We want to improve our position in the table. We want to close the gap to the top 4. We want to be smelling these positions, if not there, behind, but just smelling that for the second part of the season, and we need points. But everybody, for different reasons, need points. So it's not like we go to Southampton and they don't need. So it's just one team with high level of motivation. No, for different reasons they also need. So we are going to have a very difficult match against a team that I know that they are not going to have any problems. The team is good, the players are good, the squad is good, the club is very well organized for many years. They are going up to where they belong. They are not going to stay in that part of the table for a long time. So difficult match for us.
Jose, what do you put the inconsistency of your team down to? Sometimes you play really well, sometimes you don't. You don't get anywhere near that.
Depends. I feel that in some matches, the way we start is not that intense, emotional, aggressive way where I would like the team to start. Other times, like for example against Young Boys, we had that start. I imagine what the game could be if after 10 minutes the result is 2-0. So sometimes it's because of efficiency. We don't score chances that we have, and chances, in this case goals, have a huge impact in the way the game goes. Obviously, Young Boys, they wouldn't defend the way they did if after 10 minutes they are losing 2-0. So sometimes I think it's because of efficiency, other times it's because of the way we approach the game, and honestly makes me a little bit of confusion because all the work is based on strong starts and being intense and aggressive since the beginning.
Could you just give us any information about Alexis with his injury and what the severity of that is likely to be?
No scans yet, but the player is experienced, the player knows what the injury is, and also from the top of my experience, just the painful scream and the way that the injury happened, I know that is going to be for a long time. It's not the little muscular injury that in 1 week or 10 days the player is ready. For me and also for Alexis, the feelings before the scans is that the grade is different than the Lindelof one, and the Lindelof one was not the easy one. So I think Alexis has what I used to call an aggressive muscular injury.
The closing stages on Tuesday night felt significant. How important would that goal and that moment and that win be for carrying you into this December? Because it seemed that changed perhaps some of the momentum.
I hope so, but we are. If somebody cannot complain about the mentality and the desire and the belief in the last part of the game, is us. I don't think many clubs in the country and even abroad that win so many matches and so many points in extra time. Just going to Champions League, we did 4 additional points in extra time, 2 against Juventus and 2 against Young Boys. Also in the Premier League, we had Bournemouth, we had Newcastle. So we cannot complain about that part of our game. And I always think that the goal we conceded against Chelsea, you feel it deeply because you don't deserve, because you are not expecting that. The goals you score in the last minutes, they should also be a special feeling, a special moment, and like you say, to influence a good future.
Is Marouane Fellaini underrated? I mean, since he's come here, every manager of Manchester United has seen him as an important player. He's scored important goals. Does he get the kind of credit he deserves when most...
I think now he's getting. I think until I come, probably no. But I think now everyone gives him what he deserves. Everybody knows that Marouane is not Maradona, but everybody knows what Marouane is and what Marouane can give. And in this moment, especially this season and also last season, he did many times what strikers couldn't do, which is score important goals in important moments that give you important points and important victories. In the top of that, I think I know him very well, and I know the positions he can play, the jobs he can do. This season you saw him as a third centre defender against Burnley, and you saw him as a striker in so many occasions, and other times you see him as a number 8, which is basically the position where Marouane has more balance and more know-how, but he's very important in both boxes, in the first third, in the last third. So I think now people knows what Marouane is, and I think he also feels that good feeling.
Jose, just another of your key performers from the other night with David De Gea. Still a lot about his future seems to be up in the air. You mentioned you think he'll be here a long time.
I think David's performance, you have to say that for 92 minutes to be David there or myself would be the same. I can kick as well as him, and 0 saves, 0 shots. To be David there or to be myself would be the same. So don't say it was an amazing performance. It was a 0 performance with a save that only the best goalkeeper in the world can make. And that is the fair analysis of his performance. He didn't touch the ball. Against Crystal Palace, he didn't touch the ball. But when he needs to touch the ball, he's the best. He's the best. He wants to stay, of course. I want him to stay. He's the level of player that Manchester United needs. No, Manchester United needs the best players in the world. If we want to be Manchester United, we need the best players in the world. We have the best goalkeeper in the world. Obviously, the manager wants him to stay, and the board wants him to stay. David wants to stay. His agent wants the player to do what the player wants. He's not the kind of agent that is manipulative like others and try to influence the player. His agent let him think and decide by himself. So I think the point is just to agree the contract that the club wants to give and the player wants to accept. And I think that's just my feeling. That's just my feeling. They are going to finish well.